I do want to address the Board of Education request, along with what we've allocated, if I can kind of jump right into this. And I want to start by saying, and make sure my facts are correct. And I've shared this with you, I believe, and a few others. And given the $2.7 million coming from the state, along with the $6.6 million that we agreed through the process to go to the Board of Education, combined will be enough for the 3% teacher salary increase, which I'm told is $6.3 million. And let me just finish, and you can definitely correct me, in some of this, but in a second. And that $6.3 million to the 3% is the threshold that will allow the Kerwin Commission to kick in 1.5% for teacher salary increase. So in essence, if we stay the way we are right now with the $6.6 million, then teachers will receive a 4.5% salary increase in their current step.
Okay, I'm not sure about one number. You said the 6.6 million we're going to give them. I'm not sure where that came from. You said our increase is 3.9 million.
Is what?
Our increase is 3.9 million.
I apologize, 3.9. 2.7 plus 3.9 equals 6.6.
Oh, okay.
Thanks. And yes, 3.9. So that's the 6.6. So therefore, that total of 6.6 is enough to fund a 3% teacher's salary increase, which will allow the Kerwin Commission to kick in 1.5%. Therefore, the way we are right now, all our Carroll County public school teachers will receive a 4.5% salary increase total and their current step. Is that a true statement?
I think your math is correct. And of course, we have a few representatives from the school system here, but I'd say the two big questions are result of negotiations and other cost increases that they might have to deal with.
So, yeah, we are not privy to the negotiations, nor should we be, but just the numbers by themselves. And I mean, I'd be more than happy, for the superintendent to make a comment on that, but I just want to be clear with the current, where we are currently, the total of $6.6 million, which is the 2.7 plus 3.9, would be adequate funding for the $6.3 million that it would take for a 3% salary increase for our public school teachers, which will allow the Kerwin Commission to kick in the 1.5% to provide a total of 4.5% for all our teachers in Carroll County Public Schools to receive in their current step. And if I can ask the superintendent to...
Sure.
Dr. Lockard?
Yes, right there.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. I was getting all excited, Commissioner Rothstein. I thought you were giving us
Yeah,
$6 million.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
This close. Get
Relax.
smart.
Yeah. Well, you're correct. In terms of 3.9 from the Board of County Commissioners, 2.7 from the state, that does equal 6.3 million. When you just look at flat numbers, what would a 3% increase just for our Teachers Association through that process be? Yes, on paper, that equals a 3% increase that we would qualify for the match. I will say to you, we're currently under negotiations, as you well know, and we're also under negotiations with 4 other units. So there's still a lot of what will happen as a result and how do we afford that moving forward. Obviously, I'll stand here and say to you, I was hoping to do better than 3% for our teachers, including the Kerwin match.
So, understand, if through these negotiations, if they are settled and receive a 3% negotiated salary increase, that would allow all our teachers to receive a 4.5% increase, which, again, I don't want to do apples to oranges and bananas and all that kind of stuff, but there's a lot of folks that are getting salary increases much lower than 4.5%. Now, I just received you know, the military is getting 3.1%, you know, and it's very challenging when I see 4.5 collectively, an annual percent increase, which I applaud to get to, and I believe every teacher is worth a heck of a lot more. But with that said, 4.5% increase is a significant increase in salaries. And that would be a total, the 3% and 1.5, is that correct?
Again, your math in terms of, does it equal the ability to fund a 3% increase and qualifying for the state match? Your math is correct. Again, I'll stand here as an advocate for the school system
Right.
under negotiations with other associations as well, looking at the past, and where our teachers have not benefited from increases. I'm trying to do everything I can to
Absolutely.
advocate on their behalf.
Yeah.
And that's why I respectfully have petitioned you all in terms of our consideration for funds that could help us.
So right now, the 4.5% would be the salary increase for all teachers if we stay currently status quo. Actually, if we put the entire 6.6 into the mix, it would probably be a 3.2%, which would be a 4.7 or something like that. But the intent, what I'm getting to is to get to the threshold, which will allow the Kerwin Commission to put the money in. And we have enough funds that we're allocating or that we're providing to the school system to ensure that the Kerwin Commission's 1.5% would be kicked into the teacher salary increase.
Again,
Correct?
assuming we're able to conclude our negotiations, and again, that's the whole challenge here, right? I'd love to be able to come over with a solid number in January with you, but this process means that it's a negotiation, and so I can't give you that solid number. Again, I'm trying to advocate for the compensation of our employees, and not just our Teachers Association, but all
Right.
of our employees, to support our own, the health of our organization, the largest
Right.
employer in Carroll County.
So, but if the teachers, CCEA agree to a 3% salary increase, they would knowingly receive a 4.5% salary increase for all our teachers, and that is, and we do have sufficient funds currently to do just that.
If all those things came into occurring, theoretically, yes, for that particular group, yes.
To get that 4.5%
It would
salary
still
increase.
require us to, as we've signaled, renegotiate with all of our associations in terms of our contracts.
Well, the challenge is with all the other unions, no one else is getting a match increase, so regardless, and I gotta be careful on that, saying the other unions, in order to be equal, would have to try to negotiate for a 4.5% increase, which they wouldn't. This is the only one that's getting any state match, and the threshold being 3%, which we're able to service and provide with that total 2.7, 3.9 together to get to the match of 1.5. And therefore, again, teachers will receive a 4.5%. I don't know, you know, if that is adequate for our teachers to get a 4.5%. I would love to see them get a much more serious raise. But I think it's in a glide path and in a direction that is positive to be able to kick in the state funding and the Kerwin Commission to at least to get us to a 4.5%. So,
And as I started the process, I was really looking at the history of the last 4 years, where the
Right.
county was. I know there's no crystal ball.
right.
And so my hope was to be able to do better than 3%.
Right, but is all the money that's going to come from the county and the money from the state have to be, are you going to use that all for salary increases? Because my guess is you have other expenses as well, and if you use it
That's
for,
it.
if you use it for something else, does it still count toward a salary increase? So I don't understand, because I thought when we had the joint meeting, my understanding was that you needed an additional $1 million because of the other expenses that you had to pay, because you can't put all the money toward the salaries.
I need that to what we believed we needed to negotiate compensation for our employees. I've taken everything else,
Which is salaries.
any other request, any other consideration of anything, positions out of the
Right.
budget, and we're trying to do our best with what we have. I sent you, the years of cuts and all those
Right,
things.
right.
I'm also trying not to cut anything more.
Right.
Because we have growing needs now. And so, Commissioner Frazier, the answer is, any additional dollars we receive, this year from the county combined with the state will all go toward compensation to try to meet negotiated needs. There will be nothing, no new dollars on anything new.